This one joke quite literally saved this episode of Gravity Falls. The season 2 episode, The Love God, is hated by a lot of fans of this incredible show. I have a whole video explaining about that and the whole Robbie hating experience in this other video you should watch. But what you mainly need to know is that people really don't like this episode, but love this one joke. So in the episode, Grunkle Stan is very upset about the Woodstick Festival coming to town. He hates hippies, their hot air balloons, their open toes, and their folk music. But Seuss puts the idea in his head that he could go and make a lot of money from this market that he never tried to tap into. So what he does throughout the episode while the main plot is happening is that he makes a hot air balloon to market himself to these kids, to sell his stuff. And whenever Seuss brings up something that could be wrong,
are you sure that open flame should be that close to that dangling cloth and rope?
He just dismisses it and says it's a great idea. He has a schematic showing a big hot air balloon of his face saying, "Our heart kids." What a neat idea. And throughout the entire episode, it's building up to this one moment. This one moment, while some of the fans may be raging about the episode, this one joke is slowly being built up in the background until the scene finally happens. Where it's so brilliant, and also because of copyright, I need to explain every single bit. But not just because of copyright, even though it may seem like it. It's because each second builds up on top of each other in such a good way. And also this video is about explaining this, so let me do this for a second, alright? So right after Grunkle Stan explains the idea, he says, "Let it rip," to let the hot air balloon go. And then Seuss in response says, "Oh no, let her rip." which I love that pun. And then Grunkle Stan goes, "What the H?" And then the H from the I Heart Kids falls down, and then the R, which is so brilliant because that not only is a pun within the what the H, but then getting rid of that letter makes the I Heart Kids into I Eat Kids, which makes all the kids of the Woodstick Festival entirely terrified of this amalgamation of what Seuss tried to create based upon Stan's basic design of literally just a drawing with no idea of how to even actually make it. Then one kid says it's heaven's punishment for their awful taste in everything. And this is where most shows would probably leave it off at, but that's not only it. Then it continues and it catches on fire, and then this literal child goes, "Is the floating head going to eat us?" And then the mom goes, "Yes it is," while this crazy fucking Attack on Titan shot of just this giant flaming Grunkle Stan head that's being distorted grotesquely is going towards them. Even if you haven't seen the show for a while, or you just seen that scene around, another great part is what happens afterwards. Like, it was so good. It stacks jokes and pop jokes of each other, one after another, all being so clever and being what was set up before, not just coming out of nowhere. But then it ends the literal main conflict of the episode by having the head led on the love god and have the potion drop out, being the main plot solved of the episode. So not only did it do all that, but it solved the main plot, or then the conclusion to it, being that Grunkle Stan says that he loves that they hate him more than they love him.
You know what? Being loved by the youth is overrated. Being feared, now that's priceless.
So as you see, this joke is not only like pretty funny with some of the bits, but just how many jokes they do simultaneously over and over within this one bit it's just so clever and so good. It shows why they're so good at writing, especially compared to how the rest of the episode isn't written that well, to the point where people complain about it, which you could see in this other video I made. Literally, whenever anybody complains about this episode or anything about it, they always say, "Well, this one joke was really good." And it's because this joke is so good and can only exist within this episode. Which is one of the best things about Gravity Falls, is that even if you hate an entire episode, like one of my least favorite episodes is the Roadside Attraction, but there's still jokes in there that I find funny. And it's one of those things that's like, you can literally just hate an episode, but you're gonna have a joke or a scene that plays in your mind or you find really funny or you think is cool or clever. Which is why Gravity Falls is one of the best shows ever. Like, I love the Owl House and I consider it like a spiritual successor to Gravity Falls, but that show definitely has a lot of episodes that are not that good. And they definitely don't have any jokes this well. And that's why this hated episode of Gravity Falls got saved by one joke. Anyways, I made this video just to be a supplement to the other video, so people can have a little something else to talk about other than just the main Robbie things. Because I believe this is very interesting, and I want to talk about everything about Gravity Falls ever. So yeah. Anyways, see ya. So here's my new outro for this video. Is it's the matter that you make it. Cause I'm MrMatter. I'm MrMatter. Yeah, and yes, I am married. I am MrMatter. Yeah, it's the matter of what you make it. have a good time. Which one do you guys like better? Have a good time, or is it matter that you make it? Because have a good time is just something I say all the time, and I think it's a good phrase. But it's a matter that you make it means literally nothing, so I think it's funnier. I don't know.